I don't want a child no more. I don't want no kid no more. I don't think I want to be a Blueface girlfriend.
Get yourself together.
Where the bottle at?
Oh my gosh.
Drink it.
She asked for another bottle. I'm just
You can't have liquor?
Yes, I can. I can the child tomorrow. It won't hurt me.
No,
you should do it because it's cold.
Kashawn Rock just got caught red-handed. It's not looking good for months. Fans have speculated that Christian Jr. might be facing some developmental challenges, but every time it came up, Christian shut it down fast, insisting people were doing too much and that her baby was perfectly healthy. But now, it looks like the truth is catching up. Because not only are there clear signs that something might be wrong, insiders are confirming that Christian has been actively hiding it, and the worst part, she might have been refusing to get her son the medical help he needs, all while going out of her way to make it look like everything's fine. Let's break it down. The first red flag, Blueface. Ironically, Blueface's Blueface was the first to hint that something wasn't right. Just months after Junior was born, he went on a wild rant, accusing Christian of drinking, smoking, and getting physically assaulted while pregnant. He tweeted, "My son not healthy 'cause she drank, smoked, and got hit her whole pregnancy. Couldn't take 1 month off." He also claimed her behavior caused a hernia, and that she refused to get the surgery done. Baby still ain't had the surgery. She lying, saying he healthy. Fix our son first. Then came the receipts. Blue posted an actual photo of Junior's private area. Yes, he did that to show the hernia, and fans were shook. Say what you want about Blueface, but if he's looking like the responsible parent here, you know it's bad. Chris Ean claps back. Christian wasn't having it. She defended herself, saying, "His appointment is already set with his surgeon. I've been making it to all his appointments. Don't lie to get my baby taken away." She tried to flip it back on Blueface, calling him bitter and goofy, and dragged up his legal issues, but that didn't stop people from looking closer. The fans start noticing things, and that's when people started to connect the dots. Baby not crying like a typical infant, vacant stares and no eye movement, a respirator machine spotted. In the background of one photo, suspected fetal alcohol syndrome. Signs. Fans said he wasn't engaging like most babies his age. And knowing how much Christian partied during her pregnancy, the alcohol, the fights, the live streams, asking for another bottle, the math started mathing. That kind of public statement from Christian. He can walk, talk, play football. Who are y'all to say what he got or don't got? Hit with defiance and frustration. And honestly, who can blame her? The internet can be ruthless, especially when it comes to parenting. Everyone becomes an expert. Everyone's ready to diagnose. And in her eyes, this was just another moment of people speaking without knowledge, throwing stones at a mother doing her best. But while her words painted a picture of strength and protection, the behind-the-scenes behavior started to tell a more complicated story. Delaying appointments. Whispers from people close to the situation say routine checkups were being missed or pushed back. Not just once, not just casually, consistently. And for a child that's being speculated about so publicly, those delays weren't just seen as personal decisions. They were red flags, especially when early intervention is critical for developmental concerns. Skipping medical follow-ups, even after the few visits she reportedly did attend. Insiders suggest that some of the recommended next steps, whether they were with specialists, therapists, or evaluators, weren't followed through. Not out of neglect, they say, but perhaps out of fear. Fear of labels, fear of stigma, fear of facing a reality that didn't fit the narrative she'd already committed to. Avoiding questions about his health. Then there's the public silence on specifics. For someone who shares so much of her life online, raw, real, unfiltered, been a strange gap when it comes to updates on her son's development. She posts him smiling, dancing, playing, and always surrounded by love. But anytime the topic shifts to more serious health-related concerns, the energy changes. Comments get deleted. Lives get ended. Questions go unanswered, and this avoidance isn't just noticeably, it's starting to raise alarm bells, not just because of what it might mean for the child, but because of what it says about the pressure that comes with being a young mom under a microscope. Is it possible Christian is overwhelmed? Absolutely. She's balancing fame, music, a complicated relationship history, and now motherhood, all in front of an audience that critiques her every move. That's not parenting. That's survival in a digital coliseum. And maybe she thought ignoring the noise was protecting her son. Maybe she thought that if she refused to give the rumors oxygen, they'd die off. But the thing is, real issues don't go away because you stay silent. And when it comes to a child's health especially, Developmental health time matters. Early diagnosis, early therapy. Early support can change the entire trajectory of a child's future. That's why people are no longer just speculating. They're concerned. And it's not just strangers online. People in her circle are starting to speak, quietly, carefully, anonymously, not to attack but out of worry. They're seeing the signs. They're watching the patterns. And while no one wants to publicly accuse a mother of neglect, there's a growing sentiment that something needs to be done before it's too late. Because at the heart of this isn't drama. It's a child. A child who deserves every resource, every opportunity, and every chance to thrive, regardless of how messy or complicated the story around him is. This isn't about canceling Chrissy. It's about accountability, yes, but also support. It's about encouraging her, urging her, helping her to lean into what might be difficult but necessary for the sake of her son. The internet may be brutal, but not everyone pointing out concerns is doing so from a place of hate. Some are coming from a place of real-life experience. Parents who've walked this path. Advocates who understand what the signs look like. People who know that when things are caught early, everything can change, but it starts with honesty. With dropping the pride, with allowing vulnerability to replace image. Because this isn't about proving anything to followers. This is about showing up for your child. Even if that means sitting in uncomfortable doctors' offices. Even if that means listening to words you prayed wouldn't be spoken. Even if that means rewriting the narrative you told the world too soon. The love is there. No one doubts that. But love without action. Love without follow-through. That's just intention, and intentions don't raise healthy children. Commitment does. The kind that happens offline. In the hard moments, in the choices no one claps. So, if the rumors are true, if appointments are being skipped, if signs are being overlooked, this isn't the end of the story. It's a crossroads. And there's still time to shift the path. Chrissy doesn't need to be perfect. She just needs to be present in the ways that count. For her son, for his future, and for herself. She even tried to spin his quiet demeanor as just chilling, brushing off serious concerns as internet hate. What now? Now that insiders are talking and fans are pulling up old footage, the narrative is shifting. Fast. If this baby does need help and isn't getting it, this isn't just messy, it's heartbreaking. And if Chrissy's been hiding the truth to protect her image or avoid accountability, that's not just reckless. That's dangerous. The internet's watching closely now. Every post, every video, every live. So we have to ask, is this a case of a struggling young mom in denial? Or is Chrissy Rock really putting clout over her child's care? And if Blueface was telling the truth all along, what does that say about who really has Junior's best interest at heart? One thing's for sure, this story isn't done, and the truth, it's coming out whether she's ready or not. Chrissy Rock, caught faking her son's health. The receipts are disturbing. This story just got darker, because while Chrissy Rock keeps telling the world her son is perfectly healthy, fans, friends, and even family are pulling up receipts that say otherwise. And at this point, it's looking less like denial, and more like deliberate cover-up. The birthday illusion. Let's start with the birthday photos. In September, Chrissy posted pics of Junior to celebrate his big day, and from a glance, he looked like he was standing on his own. But eagle-eyed fans noticed he wasn't. He was propped up against her leg, barely holding himself upright, and that wasn't a one-time thing. Fans began to realize many of Chrissy's photos of Junior looked photoshopped or carefully staged to make him appear more normal. Carissa Blueface's mom speaks out. Then came Carissa Blueface, mom, who went live and dropped an emotional bombshell. The first time she met Junior, she said something felt off. I didn't know if he was looking at me, you, or the air. It crushed me. She said she had hoped fans were exaggerating. Until she saw Junior with her own eyes. Then it clicked. She also went on to accuse Chrissy's pregnancy behavior, the drinking, smoking, and chaos as a possible cause. All them mothers drank and smoked while pregnant. That's why they so angry. And whether you agree with her or not, she isn't the only one saying it. Denial runs deep. Multiple insiders say they tried to get Junior help, but Chrissy refused. One of her ex-friends, Janet, revealed her cousin is a certified child specialist who offered to evaluate Junior for developmental delays. Chrissy turned it down. We tried. My cousin works with all types of kids, including autistic children. But you can't help someone stuck in denial. Her best friend tried to intervene and got cut off. And if you needed more proof, this situation is serious. Her former best friend Marsh had a falling out with her while caring for Junior. While Christian was in jail, Marsh Street.
The pure irony, right? I mean, this has to be one of the most ironic situations pertaining to Chrisean Rock that we could even be discussing. I mean, come on now. You did everything that would lead to your son's health decline. But now, after everyone's getting on your head, after everyone's calling you a horrible mother, everyone's calling you a neglectful parent, a selfish person, a horrible human being, right? Now that you're being called these things, now that there's actually some pushback against what you've done, oh, well, now you want to release these videos, you want to release these quote-unquote AI videos, right? Or photoshopping, you know, you wanna manipulate things in a synthetic way to make your son, to make Junior appear more healthy than he is, right? But that's incredibly ironic because all you had to do for him to actually be that healthy was care when it mattered the most, right? When you were pregnant with Junior, when you were twerking and you were in the club and you were dancing and drinking, right? When you were doing these things, that was the time to care.
Stay locked in because this story is far from over. Why isn't Chrisean Rock in jail for what she did to her baby? Let's talk facts. Because this isn't just messy, this is criminal. And the real question on a lot of people's minds is, why isn't Chrisean Rock in jail? No, seriously. A 20-month-old child who can't talk, can't walk, and can't even hold his own head up. That's not just behind developmentally. That's severe neglect or worse. This is bigger than gossip. This looks like negligence. This isn't about dragging the baby. Nobody is blaming Junior. This is about asking why a mother who openly drank and partied throughout her pregnancy is now doing everything possible to fake her child's health. Instead of getting him actual help. You had time to twerk pregnant. You had time to get tattoos and go viral. You had time for interviews, fights, and drama. But you didn't have time for a prenatal checkup. You didn't have time for vitamins, therapy, a damn pediatrician. Denial isn't an excuse anymore. You are not in denial anymore. You're in cover-up mode. Now that fans are calling you out for neglect. Now that people are saying you're an unfit parent. Now you're suddenly dropping spiritual posts and AI-generated clips of your son looking fine. Let's be clear, you didn't care when it mattered. When you were pregnant, that was the time to show up. That was the moment to make sure this baby came into the world healthy. But, instead, you were in clubs, drunk, fighting, and now you want us to believe that God told you everything's fine? Faking normal doesn't make it real. We've seen the videos. We've seen the photoshopped pics. The edited walker shots, the posed birthday posts, the manipulated angles, all designed to make Junior look normal. But reality doesn't care about your PR, because eventually, that baby's going to school, and no amount of filters or edits is going to cover the fact that he's not developing normally. Kids will notice, teachers will notice, cameras will catch it. You can't AI your way through real life. The inevitable, you can't lie forever. The tragic part, Junior is the one who pays for your denial. Not you, not Blueface, not the blogs. The child is the one who will struggle, while you're too busy chasing image over integrity. You had every opportunity to break the cycle. But instead, you repeated it with an Instagram filter on top. So yeah, people are asking, why isn't CPS involved? Why hasn't anyone stepped in? How many more AI edits do we have to see before this becomes a legal issue? In the end, this isn't just a bad look. It's potentially child endangerment. And it's heartbreaking to watch a child be turned into a prop in his own life, when he should be getting therapy, early intervention, and most importantly, in love. Protecting your image will never heal your child. And no amount of AI will undo what you've already done. Let me know if you want this styled as a YouTube voiceover script, a TikTok monologue with beat pacing for visuals, a Reddit R true of style post, or even a Twitter X thread broken into impactful tweets. Want a thumbnail or caption idea too? Fake videos won't save that baby. You had one job. Let's be honest here, no matter how many fake videos you post, no matter how much you Photoshop or stage photos, you cannot undo the damage that's already been done. Junior is always going to be more challenged than his peers. He's always going to be behind in development because of the choices his own mother made. His delays are not minorware, not talking about being a little late to talk or walk. We're talking about a nearly 2-year-old child who can't hold up his head. Let that sink in. That's not a little behind. That's a serious developmental disability. and it didn't come out of nowhere. You screwed him before he even had a chance when it mattered most. During pregnancy, Christian chose cleving over prenatal care, drinking over vitamins, drama over peace, self over child. That was the time to care. That was the moment to protect your child's future, but she didn't. And now, she's trying to mask the consequences with AI videos and manipulated Instagram posts. It's not going to work. You can't AI your way through reality. You can fake videos. You can Photoshop him in a walker. You can lie to your fans, but you can't fake a real childhood. Because eventually he's going to school. And when he does, every other kid, every teacher, every person is going to see the reality. Kids don't care about filters. They care if someone talks like them, walks like them, plays like them. If Junior can't do that, they'll notice and they might even mock him for it. And that won't be his fault, it'll be yours. And now you want sympathy. Now you want to play the God-fearing mother card. Now you want to talk about spirituality and healing. But where was that spirit when it mattered most? When your baby was forming inside you, that's when you had the power to help him, but you didn't. And no amount of spiritual hashtags is going to erase that. So what now? There's nothing you can do to save face. You had the opportunity to give your son a chance, and you blew it. Now you're stuck trying to edit your way out of accountability, and that's not just sad, it's disgusting. Final word, but that's just my opinion. Now I want to hear yours. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about this whole situation. If you appreciated the truth in this video, like it, share it, and subscribe for more commentary from someone who actually thinks before they speak. If you're tired of mindless content, if you want to be in a community that's actually conscious, aware, and honest, this is where you belong. So hit that notification bell. Join the tribe, because we're not like the rest. We're not here to sugarcoat, we're here to wake people up. Snow is right here. I'm tuning out. Peace. Let me know if you want this version broken down into TikTok clips, with suggested visuals, a YouTube short script podcast segment tour, even a Reddit post format. Our unpopular opinion are true of my chest. I can also add times, captions, or a hooked intro like, this is not about gossip. This is about a child who's been failed by the one person who was supposed to protect him. Want that version too?